All right, hello, welcome back. No gameplay today. I just wanted to make a quick video to raise awareness of an issue that plagues the Germany Cold War map at the moment. I have not seen anyone talk about this. No content creator bothered to make a video about this. It's just when you Google this or search for it on YouTube, nothing comes up. Hype videos are at the top and trailers are at the top. But as usual, nothing of substance when it comes to solving errors. So what is the issue exactly? Let me quickly jump into my bug report that I have done. The issue is this. When you, let me make this larger. So when you are in the northern area of Germany, around this island right here, so north of Großmoordorf, Bad, Damgarten, etc., this island causes massive FPS issues. Let me quickly show you what I'm talking about. So in here, I'm in a heli. Doesn't matter which plane it is, by the way. When you're looking to the north, approximately north may also be 030 or 060, depending on where you are, obviously. The FPS, as shown here, tanks to basically nothing. As you can see where I am on the map. I'm south of Neubrandenburg, so that is quite far away from the island. It still happens. You look north, and you looked away, and suddenly everything is fine again. And you look north, and the FPS tank, the frame times spike massively, as you can see. You look away, everything is perfectly fine again. You look north, you get the idea. Tanks again. It happens in multiplayer, it happens in single player. It happens in all planes. It doesn't really matter. Another thing, here I spawned directly in the north. So you can see this maybe here on the map. There, the hind shows you where you spawn. So this is where you are, or where I am in this video. It's on the contention server, but again, it doesn't really matter. So we are here. The island in question is right there. So yeah, when we start to look to the right a little bit, so left or good, to the right direction of this island, the frames tank again. Frame times spike, you look to the left, and yeah, it's the same thing. Happened every day in every plane for me. A lot of others are affected as well, but as usual, normal people remain silent about bugs, right? They just think it's their PC or whatever. They don't bother creating bugs or bug reports. I have done that. I have I chipped in this forum thread on the forums, the official forums. There's one kind of popular video which shows the issue. That was from the Grim Reapers. They have a YouTube channel. This is the island in question. They were facing this in an F-16, and you can see here the frame times go crazy, the frames go down, and there was a note on screen saying lag turns out to be because we're near the sea. When we head inland, it clears up. So they experienced the same thing, but even though they are one of the most popular YouTube channels, they chose to not raise awareness for some reason. If I had that kind of following, I would have made this video on the first day, but yeah. So it is so severe, obviously, that it's basically game breaking, because flying around like this in 2D is highly annoying. If you are in VR, it's absolutely unusable. This should have #1 priority. I don't care if a crop collector in the middle of Germany has its wheels not animated correctly. I care about performance the most, and I think I'm not alone with this. I've included this video here as well, and the screenshot. And I tried to isolate the area where it's really coming from. Is it the whole island, or is it a certain part of the island? So what I did was I jumped into my hind in single player, and I flew along this black line right here. And I searched for this. Basically, I always followed the stutter, if you know what I mean. So I followed the stutter. When it stopped stuttering, I turned again to make it stutter again, and so on and so forth. And when you do that long enough, you will arrive at the source of the stutter, which is this zone right here. Not obviously exactly, but like there. There it is. So when you're flying north, where my mouse is right now, you fly north, it stutters, it stutters, it stutters, it stutters, it stutters, it stutters. As soon as you clear the coastline of this coast right here in the north, it stops stuttering immediately. When you turn around, it starts to stutter. And when you go south, stutter, 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 it gets better. And around here, it clears up. So this area right here, this northern area of the island, is the cause of the stutter. I've isolated this, and there's no doubt about it. This is where it stems from. This is where it comes from. I have also tried to look at the textures in particular. I couldn't spot anything which would be wrong, but my guess is that something we can't see as a normal user is causing this. Recording, yes, good. So something is causing this, which we can't see. So I think it's some kind of rogue texture. Maybe it is a texture that is internally rendered at 16K and it doesn't fit in anyone's video memory. Maybe it's a double texture. Like, for example, a game developer might have put like two 8K, 4K grass textures on top of each other, and both are trying to be rendered at the same time, and then nobody's video memory is enough to handle it, basically. Something like that. That would be my guess as a normal user who is still kind of experienced in error reporting and troubleshooting. That would be something I would guess. Because it's not just... I was looking at the frame times, right? So I showed you the video. When your processors or your GPU's performance is not enough, your FPS go down, obviously. But these frame time spikes, together with the FPS drop, to me, that looks like something video memory related. So I don't have a very high-end graphics card. I have a 3060 Ti. But a lot of others with more powerful cards, for example, 11, 12 gigabyte cards, for example, Cap from the Grim Reapers, where I showed you the screenshot, he is using a 3080 Ti, which is more than 50% more powerful than my card. You can see. Can I see the exact FPS value? It's a little bit blurry. I think it's around 30 or something. And he also has these frame time spikes. So even when you have a graphics card which is 50% more powerful than mine, you still have this issue. I went in particular to search for the graphics card that this guy is using, and he made a setup tour video some time ago. And there he said he has a 3080 Ti. So I did a lot of research, and then it came to my bug report. So I will quickly show this. Let me maximize this. So first of all, good title so people can see it. Most of them, just a little side note, when you create bug reports, a lot of stuff. People simply often say, XYZ doesn't work, please fix. Like this, textures bug. Or this thing something doesn't work. But there's post guidelines, right? And you should have a description, you should have a appropriate title, you should have a track file, a screenshot, a video, your system specs via DXDiag file, your DCS world logs, and optionally a TechView file. Nobody does that for some reason. So my post has all of this. So this is the description. Whenever being north or looking north, the FPS tank and frame time spike from stable 60 FPS, which is by me, or for me, VSync or G-Sync, right? It tanks to 13 FPS at the lowest, which we have seen. Areas affected start at the island shown on the screenshot and reaches as far as almost Berlin. That is, let me jump quickly back to the website. Somebody has tried to make an outline of this. This is not correct. This is not correct. This is an affected area, but it spans further south as well. It doesn't even show here. I can't show you right now because the screenshot is not large enough. It goes to almost Berlin. So the top third of the whole map is affected. So here nobody goes. I don't count this because nobody goes in this area. There's nothing there. Germany-wise, so landmass-wise, this is all affected. Plus until almost Berlin, until you reach Berlin. Not completely, almost. It's like Templin, the Templin area. Right? So, back to the bug report. Track file, logs, DXDiag, and 2 videos are included in the post. Reproducible 100% of the times in single and multiplayer in the area in question. It does not apparently show in replays. I don't know why. I have tested this. I have replayed my own replay, and it wasn't there, which is extremely confusing because if it was only texture related and exclusively, it would show there, right? That baffles me the most. I have no idea. I put a YMMV at the end, so your mileage may vary on this point because I can't understand it, but it is what it is. It was not like, I don't know. In a vanilla non-mod single player situation, in a live situation, so when you are in the plane and flying, it happens, but when you watch the replay of that very mission, nothing happens. So that's what happened to me. Again, big question mark, can't explain it. Maybe I will have an explanation for this in the future, but right now I don't. All planes and helis are affected. It is not bound to a specific GPU or CPU configuration or to bad systems in general, so hardware isn't to blame here. Again, when you have... I can run normal DCS perfectly fine with my settings. The FPS never drop below 60, even on the heaviest multiplayer servers, like a fully packed contention Syria campaign server that is running since 6 hours. Nothing happens to my FPS. It's perfectly stable otherwise. It's just this map and just this area. And more powerful systems suffer from this as well. It's not RAM bound either. I have 64 GB plus a massive swap file of 50 GB. It's not affected by mods. That is one of the most, I would say, usual points of errors, right? If you have like 20 mods installed, that's not good for error testing. So I tested it with one mod, which is the back cockpit for the hind. And I tested it with the disabled mod, so all default, all stock. I just wanted to make that clear. It's not affected by head tracking software either, so I checked it with OpenTrack, I checked it without OpenTrack. Then I said many people are affected, potentially all, but as usual with bug reports, most remain silent and never check forums. That's what people do. I mentioned it in the beginning. It's not affected by preload radius, texture settings, scenery details factor, or visible range options. The best you can do with visible range or texture settings is that you slightly, ever so slightly, delay the inevitable. So you might get 10 kilometers closer to the island and delay it a little bit, but eventually it will still happen. And then, yeah, there's all the track file. There's the 2 videos that I've shown, the logs, in a zip format. I also have cleared all the shader caches. So in your save games folder, there is a FXO and meta shader that needs to be cleared for error reporting. I cleared the So inside the DCS folder, not in the saved games, in your main folder, there's a mods folder, terrain, Germany Cold War, miscellaneous, shader cache. I've deleted all this as well because I thought maybe something got corrupted, but obviously it didn't. What is interesting to me here, it shows the change date, September or October 2024. This happens all the time. When you clear this, delete this, after some time it comes back and it is always the same date of creation. Don't know why that happens, but it is what it is. A little bit confusing again, right? Because normally a file change date is like a timestamp in the file itself, in the NTFS file structure. And yeah, but you will see this happen. So if you clear this, and after some time it will come back, and it will come back with the same dates. Don't ask me why. And yeah, so I have done everything on my part. I reported the error. I chipped in the forums. There was Big Nui, the ED team guy. He asked for a track file. That was on Tuesday. Today is Thursday. Thursday is over. It's almost 11. And so I have provided it, but it is 62 megabytes. And in the forums, you can only post files up to 50 megabytes. So I posted it on an external page, fileupload.net. And when you click on this, you can see if it has been downloaded. And downloads are 0. So the guy didn't even take a look. This needs to be solved, because nobody can really fly on this map. As soon as you fly or look north, you have a massive problem. And yeah, so Ugra, please hurry up. I know it's early access. I know not everything is perfect. It doesn't have to be, especially in early access. But this should be the number 1 priority. If that would be my product, I would tell my employees they don't get the weekend off if they don't solve it. Because everyone is affected by this sooner or later. If you were only active in the middle part of Germany, well, you got lucky because there it's far enough away so that you didn't notice it. But as soon as you go north, you will see this. So yeah, please raise awareness. Please, if you are on the ED Discord, I think you can react to this, or at the very least, you can write something like, yeah, I'm affected too. Something like that. Just interact with the post. The more interaction this gets, the more likely it is that ED and Ugra sees the issue, and the faster it will get solved, right? If this goes down in priority, nobody will see it, and then, yeah. Just interact with this post and or with the forum. But nobody, so I think most people are registered on Discord nowadays. I think if you're watching this, you have a Discord account, but it's more unlikely that you have an account in this forum. So either or basically and, I should say, interact. I think the best way is to interact with this post. It can be found on the ED Discord, DCS by Eagle Dynamics. And then you head down here, DCS Bug Reporting Forum, and there is the post called Cold War Germany Map, Massive Loss of FPS in the Northern Area. And there you can interact with it. So, thank you for that, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.